Whoa, whoa, whoa. This list is crazy. So if you want to become a billionaire, the secret is to get money from your parents. Jeff Bezos got $245,000 from his parents to help start Amazon, and he went on to become a billionaire. Elon Musk got $28,000 from his father, went on to become a billionaire. Mark Zuckerberg got financial backing from his parents? Donald Trump? Is this the secret sauce to raising a billionaire that no one is talking about, that is taboo? Because we are potentially in this situation. In fact, all of you are potentially in this situation. You know, Christina and I are multimillionaires. We have two daughters, and with our oldest daughter turning 18, the question that we have been asking ourselves recently is, what is the best way to set our children up for success financially and in life? Should we give Sanoa $50,000, $100,000, $1 million? Well, if we're following the lead of some of the most wealthiest people in the world, that just may be a strategy to follow. Hey guys, it's Ahmad from Artist Journey, and on today's video, I want to talk about something that not enough people are talking about: how to truly raise a billionaire. So one of the things that you know about us is that Christina and I achieved financial independence and we retired early. At the same time, we have two daughters that have been on that journey with us. We have had them riding shotgun the whole time, teaching them about investing, about budgeting, about entrepreneurship, all of the things that we did to achieve financial independence. And our oldest daughter, Sanoa, is turning 18 in a couple of months. And when she becomes 18, one of the things that she is going to be able to do is take over her own investment account, a custodial account that she has amassed a lot of money in. But more so, one of the things that we have also been considering is, when do we start handing our wealth over to our children? Because something that a lot of people are actually doing wrong with their money is they are waiting until it is too late to start to give it to their children. You see, many people wait until they pass away to give their children their inheritance. At that point, you could have passed away in your 90s and be giving money to your children who are already elderly themselves. They could be in their 70s or 60s. And at that point, how helpful will that wealth be? If you look at some of the examples of billionaires today, you see that their parents handed off wealth a lot sooner. They gave them money to invest in their dreams, in their businesses, and those young people used that energy, that innovation to 10x that wealth, to take that wealth to levels unfathomable. And that is what you can potentially do when you start to give your wealth to your children sooner rather than later. And so to really be successful at doing this, you have to make sure that you are raising your children to be good stewards of that money, to have that mindset, that money mindset, to be able to take that money to the next level. And so I want to share with you guys some of the things that we are doing right now to make sure that should the day come that Sanoa comes to us and says, I have an idea and I want you guys to invest in it, we are more than willing to do it because we know that she is a good steward of money. And so for so many of you on this financial journey, this may be a question that you will have to address one day. How do you do this, and how do you do this correctly? Because you could give your children money and they totally squander it, they totally waste it, because your children do not have the financial experience or education in order to be good stewards of that money. And so what I want to do today is share with you some of the things that we have instilled in our children that gives us the confidence to be able to transfer that money to them sooner rather than later. The first thing we did was we started their financial education as soon as possible by introducing basic financial concepts such as the value of money, how it's earned, the importance of saving versus spending, concepts like needs versus wants. And we did all this to first establish a financial foundation. And so one of the things we did early on to give them real life experience with these concepts was to give them an allowance. You see, the idea is to give your children a weekly or a monthly allowance and then encourage them to budget it. It teaches them how to manage limited resources and helps them prioritize spending. The next thing we did was encourage saving and goal setting. Now, this is really important because it helps kids set short-term and long-term financial goals, such as saving for a toy or for a bigger item. And with our kids, incentives played a big role in reinforcing this concept. And so to incentivize saving, one of the things we did was we offered to match their contributions to whatever savings or investment accounts they made. And this was important because it also introduced them to the concept of compound growth. The other thing that we did is we were constantly looking to provide practical financial experience to our children. So it was things like opening bank accounts. That is so important for them to understand that process. Or opening and investing in their custodial accounts. So as soon as possible, we opened savings accounts for our children in their names. And we showed them how to deposit money, how to monitor their balance, and how to understand bank statements. And with their custodial accounts, it was the same thing, except we were introducing them to investing. They learned about stocks, bonds, index funds, and other assets, all while under our guidance. Now, if you want to learn more about building wealth and also transferring that wealth to the next generation, you have to check out our 365 Days to FIRE program. Within that program, we dedicate an entire month to estate planning. And as a part of that month, you learn about wills and especially trusts. Because it's one thing to build that wealth, but it's another thing to use the right tools in order to transfer that wealth to the next generation properly. And so I will leave a link in the video description to our 365 Days to FIRE program. Check it out. It can help you on this journey. The next thing we did was we taught them about budgeting with real life budgets. You see, our daughters were either using a journal or a financial spreadsheet to track their expenses. This helped them to visualize where their money was going and how to make adjustments accordingly. Along with their own budgets, we also got them involved in our household budgets. We showed them how our own family budget worked. We showed them what we spent on groceries, utilities, saving, investing. And sharing with them the family budget was so important because it gave them real-world experience to understand the real cost of living. The next thing we did was we built credit awareness. So many of the billionaires that I talked about earlier, they understand how to leverage credit to build wealth. And so teaching your kids credit awareness is so important. And we did this in a real-world practical way by adding our children as authorized users on our credit cards. And as authorized users, we could monitor their spending while teaching them how credit works and the importance of paying off balances in full in order to build good credit. It also gave us the opportunity to have discussions about the risk of debt and how to avoid credit card traps by paying off balances on time and not spending more than they can afford. The next thing we did was encourage the entrepreneurial spirit. If you have been keeping up with our journey, you have seen our daughters have so many side hustles and entrepreneurial ventures. And as our daughters went on their entrepreneurial ventures, we always made it a point to support them however we could. Whether it was providing money up front so they could get started, or in some cases buying the products ourselves, it was all a part of the learning process of entrepreneurship. And finally, the thing that we have always done that encapsulates all of this is that we have always been transparent with our children about our finances. We have involved them in the decision making, whether it's buying a car, investing in real estate, moving abroad, starting an Airbnb, whatever the case may be. By involving them in these types of discussions, this helps them understand complex financial concepts and prepares them for their own future financial decisions. And so by teaching our girls all of these things, we are giving them the tools that they will need to one day manage our money. Because that day is going to come a lot sooner rather than later. Christine and I have already started sharing our wealth with our children because we believe strongly in the next generation being able to take it to the next level, especially when we are riding shotgun with them and mentoring them along the process. Because that is the most powerful thing about this whole strategy. All of the billionaires that we talked about earlier, they not only got the money, they got the mentorship from their parents, from their loved ones that were right there with them. They were their greatest advisors. And Christina and I are set up to be that for our children. And so that one day they are set up to be billionaires themselves. And now these concepts, these rules aren't something that you have to be wealthy to start to do now. Start to teach your children about money sooner rather than later. If you are in a position financially to help them achieve their dreams, you don't have to give them the $1 million. It could be something as simple as $100 or $1,000 that could set them up for financial success in their future. Because with support, mentorship, and love, your children can achieve anything. And so I hope this video has given you food for thought. And as usual, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to our channel, and join the journey.